It's JD in the bag, myself, Chuckie online. I got my guy, Bugzy Malone with me. What's going on, my brother? What's happening, my G?
Love.
Tired, yeah?
Yo, tired.
Do you know what? Before we even start having a conversation, yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like there's one thing that we definitely have in common.
Okay.
It's the putting on the suit thing.
You enjoy putting on a suit?
Bro, I love putting on a suit,
You know,
my brother.
You know, you got to do it from time to time, man. It's a class thing, innit?
There's almost like a little statement in that as well. Do you get what I'm saying?
Man.
Like,
It's a status. You know what it is? These levels to dressing, do you know what I'm saying? And some people stop at tracksuit.
yeah,
And sometimes you have to excel past tracksuit
of
for
course.
certain occasions. And you can see people that are stuck in tracksuit because then they only go over to a jean.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
a smart casual trainer, you get what I'm saying? But
And maybe a young no socks vibe. They
on.
might do the no socks thing.
Yeah. And that's them pushing it. They're sweating when they're doing that. You get what I'm saying? You have to, at some point, push it all the way
Yeah.
over. Proper men wear suits.
Yeah.
So you got to try it, man.
Well, I was saying to you before as well, like, you're a person who, just over years, like, I've wanted to just have a conversation about life with, because
Yeah.
I just find you an interesting guy, and, like, you put a lot of yourself in your music and that as well.
Yeah,
And that's what I like as well. For me personally, yeah. One of the and I always talk about the fact that I don't want to have a conversation with everyone. I can't have a conversation with everyone. That's just how I am as a person, yeah. But when I have an artist who says a lot and speaks a lot and pours a lot into it, there's so much different things to talk about, because it's kind of like, like, what did you mean when you said that? Like, is this how you felt? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But first, I just want to ask you, bro, how are you, bro?
Yeah, man, I'm
How are
good,
you?
man. I'm flipping, flying, man. What am I, like 4-5 years into being in the spotlight? There was years of just like trying to get noticed, and I feel like my job in this music thing is to have Londoners take someone from the north seriously. So that was a task in it, because it meant being provocative, which isn't completely in my nature. It's part of my characteristics, but it's not completely in my nature. But it had to be done. Somebody had to do it. So I'm good. Everything's flying.
Yeah.
But then at the same time, it's like I need to be a human being again a little bit.
Yeah. Do you feel like you kind of like sometimes just consume yourself a lot, like too much into what
Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
It gets on my nerves when I see people that have started something, and they don't commit their lives to it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? It gets someone, even a fighter, and he builds up sick, and he's a champion, and everything about him's inspirational and whatever, and then he just falls off, and he's in the clubs drinking and this, that, and the other. I feel like you have to commit your life when you do something. Otherwise, the legacy, there's no point.
I wonder, like, do you know what the thing is, yeah? I wonder if it's always been like that, because for me, I feel like that is a big issue of a lot of people now, yeah? See, for me, there's like, I look at it like there's so many different opportunities to create stuff and do things and, you know, make the better of your life, whether it's like creatively, artistically, whatever it may be, yeah? But like, it seems like because you're getting pockets of people that are becoming really successful, you're getting a lot of people that are being inspired by it, but not, it's like, you can tell that it's not their dream, because they'll do it for 1 week, 2 weeks, maybe a month, and then you can't see them again. It's that level of commitment that people find hard to gravitate to.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the masters are just dying out with like the 90s and that, like just masters in general. There's not many left, and I feel like people are getting involved in things and the heart's not in it.
Yeah.
But what I would say about that is progress is irreversible. That's what I found, because I boxed for a long time, about 4 years, and everything I learned in boxing I've been able to bring with me. So that felt like wasted time, because I initially done it for one reason, and then my coach believed I could be a champion, so I ran with it, kind of thing. Do you get what I'm saying? But you can find yourself on the path of something which isn't your thing.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. I think success, now that I've got to a stage of money and stuff like that, I think success is more like doing what makes you happy, as opposed to just doing what will make you money, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You have got to make the money first, so it's a balance.
I listened to your first project, and you know, you talk about being ready to blow,
Yeah.
Everything that you felt and experienced, from that point up to today, did you, looking back, do you feel like you was ready, really ready to blow? and really ready to experience those things that were gonna come to your life after that. As an artist, yeah, you go for a point where you're creating a bit of a buzz. You feel like, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. You're getting some traction, but there's things that come after it that surely you couldn't have expected to happen. When you think about all of those things that you've experienced and felt, looking back, do you feel like you was ready?
The nature of the way that I came through as well was like just provocative. I just had to get in people's faces. For like someone from the north had to come through. So in that respect, because I spent a lot of time on the roads and stuff, was I ready to die? Yeah. You know, if anybody was going to try and stop me getting through, yeah, I was just ready for any of them situations. Was I ready for like the materialistic things? Was I ready to like open up as a character and be more bright as a character? Not really. Like that all come a little bit fast, but on the roads, the comfort thing is like violence and do you know what I mean? Negativity, and like I was kind of ready for that.
Well, that's the thing, but that's almost natural for you, considering where you come from and your upbringing and stuff
so
like that.
that's what I was ready
but the
for.
part that we're not ready for, coming from that environment, is the opening up.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Which in my music I was always open, and I think that's why people are interested in it, kind of a thing. But yeah, I don't know. It was a difficult task, but I think for the first person to come through, they was gonna have to be up against it.
Yeah.
So that bit I was ready for, and I think that's where I've earned my status in it.
Definitely.
Because I think a lot of people in my situation would have just got like robbed, beaten up, sent home, basically, and that couldn't happen to me.
Do you know what I find kind of interesting still, yeah? That you mentioned that like London kind of being the thing where you felt like someone had to do it, yeah?
Yeah.
And I've felt like that too. Someone did have to do it.
Yeah.
Even if it meant that there was going to be a sacrifice lamb and whatever it may be, yeah?
Cool.
Someone had to do it, yeah? But like, looking at you, I always felt that you thought, fuck London, man. Like, I'm from where I'm from. I'm doing what I'm doing. If these lot jump on it, they jump on it. If they don't jump on it, they don't jump on it. But it just is what it is. Did both of that play a part in it? Or was it really kind of about like, okay, yeah, like London boys are getting some big shine right now, but I have to be involved in that?
So like if I'm an up and coming fighter and I'm fighting a champion, then it has to be fuck the champion, innit? Because if I go in there respecting the champion, he's gonna school me because he's the champion, man.
Yeah.
He's just gonna beat me with experience. You have to bully him around the ring. You have to turn it into a street fight and get his heart beating, make him afraid, and you have to beat him, and that's that. So that's how I seen it. I think London became complacent with the fact that like it was just there, everything was just there. But then the internet had happened, and I noticed that. Do you get what I'm saying in terms of marketing and business and stuff? That's where I'm a bit of I'm fast. So when I seen the internet, I thought I can get in anybody's living room in 10 seconds, just with an upload. So I just think I was one of the first to capitalise on that. And we've seen different versions of it. You've seen Takeshi 6ix9ine. He overdone it. He overcooked it. He's ruined his life. So there's a balance of getting in people's faces and kind of getting yourself out there.
Yeah.
I don't think it's as needed now for people coming from where I'm coming from, because I opened the door.
Yeah.
If he was going to be the first, it was it was needed, man. So yeah, I think that's it really. I just think I needed to be taken seriously. Otherwise there was no point in doing it.
Yeah, I get you.
And that was that.
Do you know what, yeah? I think like for a lot of people, do you
know what? Yeah, sorry to cut you.
Go on.
I was at a stage in life where it was like I was either going that way, or I was going to have an opportunity to do something a little bit legal. Even if music would have made me 50 grand legal money, then I could have started a business. So for people to stop me coming through at that point, they'd have been sending me back out onto the road.
Well, that's it. And that's one of the reasons why, you know what, yeah, I have a big issue where like there was that conversation at one point where they were talking about like banning certain artists and like a certain style of music and all of that stuff. And I understand that, like, you know, sometimes for some people, the realities of some people's lives is difficult to hear, especially when you don't come from there. It's hard. But you know what? By you telling that person they can't do what they can't do that. They can't go in the studio and make music and ultimately go and, you know, change their life. What's the message that you're sending them then? You ultimately want them to go back in the street? And I guess that's something that could have happened to you, right?
I think what I've done is like I just try to deliver the message in a softer way, animated. And I think for a lot of people from the roads, it's like we fuck with him, but like how come he's coating it a little bit? And that's just because I wanted a job. I wanted to get employed. You get what I'm saying? And I think a lot of these guys that are coming through now, I've been as involved as anybody that I've heard coming through, and they're not coating it at all. So when you don't coat it, you can't expect JD to hire you. You can't expect the industry to want to hire you. Do you get what I'm saying? Because you're talking about stuff I'm talking about illegal stuff. A lot of us are talking about illegal stuff, but when you don't put any coating on it, it's just raw.
What do you mean? Like, let's talk about that, the coating.
Yeah.
Like, was that a thing that you felt from the get-go, though? Or have you come to learn that as your career's gone on?
Yeah, like when I was first doing music and nobody was watching, I didn't want to talk about anything violent because I'd lived it. And it's not nice. Like, if I listen to my old tracks about the dark times in my life, it brings all them memories back and I just have a bad day. Do you get what I'm saying? So when I first started doing music, I just didn't want to talk about anything that I'd seen or been through. So I was trying to make stuff about other stuff. And then I just realised, like, my first freestyles that took off was me kind of realising, like, no one gives a fuck about how good you can spit bars. No one cares about that. People want to know, are you certified? Was you really there? Have you really been through it? Do you get what I'm saying?
I think that some people do care, yeah. But I don't think that the people that care ultimately change the life of an artist, my opinion. I think that, like, you're right in a sense that the wider demographic sometimes care about all of the other things that go around the artistry as well as the artistry. Do you get me? Me as a person, I need to know whether you're good. That's for me though. But I come from a different. Same
with boxing. These boxing connoisseurs that will look at Mayweather and go like, the way he's just pivoted round on his foot and slipped that punch, everything's to the millimetre. Boxing connoisseurs will be like, that's amazing. And then a fight fan will be like, he's just running away from the guy. Do you get what I'm saying? And that's the same in music. It's like someone can be lyrically like, wow, and then other people are like, but what did he say? I don't care how good his lyrics were, what did he actually say? There's things in my life that I've still never said. And it's only that now my songwriting's getting better that I can say it in a way that I'm not directly saying, I was there that night when X, Y, and Z happened, for some judge to be like, yeah. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course. That is obviously, this is the thing. We can't exclude the fact that, you know what, you can find yourself in a situation where you go into...
That's why I wasn't afraid to candy coat it, because I definitely done everything I could possibly have done. Do you get what I'm saying? So I wasn't afraid to make it a bit animated, make it a little bit fun, because I felt like in that respect I didn't have nothing to prove. I've really done stuff. So when I see guys that aren't candy coating it at all, they've got to make a decision as to whether they want a career or not. If you want a career, you got to find a way to make it palatable. Especially after you get that one initial track that blows and people know your brand, people know you are. Like, you got to find a way then to make it palatable. Otherwise, you ain't going to get employed. Before you become a boss, you got to work for somebody.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
You've been in the game for a few years now.
Yeah.
And maybe even longer than I am so much aware of. So there's a lot of things that I feel have happened in your life. And for a lot of people, some people might think, oh, you know what? My first encounter with you was when you did your Fire in the Booth. But there was a whole life before that with you. I just kind of want to know a little bit about that. Like, where are your parents from?
My mum's Scottish.
Scottish, yeah.
And then her dad's Nigerian, so she's mixed race.
Oh, okay.
And then my dad's Jamaican. He was born in Jamaica, moved over here to my side.
Ever been back to Jamaica?
No, I've not been yet, you know.
Yeah, you need to do that still.
Yeah, I'll get around to it. That's what I'm saying. I've not done much travelling.
Okay.
I've done bits and bobs and that. But I've just committed my life to this.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? So now I'm only just loosening up.
Where did your musical journey proper start, though? Like, I know grime is obviously your thing, yeah? When, like, we had... you know, things like Eskimo dance and Young Man Standing and stuff like that, yeah? What was happening in Manchester? Like, what was you doing early on to kind of...
Raw gang culture, bro. shooters, man, killers. That just look like me and you, but we're just killing. Do you know what I mean? So then we had like the younger gangs would spit lyrics, and you'd kind of document that culture, depending on how deep you was into it. Do you know what I mean? But we had MCs that were like not involved in anything,
Yeah.
but was documenting it.
Yeah.
With the sound of the instrument, or with the kinds of things that they were saying. And then you have people like myself that was involved, but not one of the older, deep involved, that was documenting it from an angle of, it was like drill.
Yeah.
But it was grime.
Yeah.
But we was more like, we'd see MCs as Muppets.
Oh, for real? Yeah.
Yeah, like Muppets, because like they just bar for bar shit, but they're not saying anything. With us, it was like, last night we was there, and we done that to my man. And when we see them, man, do you know what I mean? So that's kind of what we was doing. So that was my first encounter with spitting lyrics. Infrared. You know, you put the phones together and
Yeah.
I had a track.
That's a throwback.
Innit?
The infrared.
You get me? I had a couple of tracks that just took off around schools, and I remember one night like spitting at a party.
I have to stop you.
Go on.
Just for anyone who don't remember that or wasn't around the infrared time, just explain what you're talking about with that.
Infrared is like, what was it now? Like you just...
It was almost like a Bluetooth thing, innit?
You'd like get one phone from one angle and then the other side, and you'd put it...
Connect it
It'd be
together.
like a little infrared patch.
It
looked like the end of a remote, and you put them together.
Yeah.
And then that's how you know what I mean? It's like
You were
the track
sending
would
music
hop
like
over.
that.
Yeah.
That's
So
crazy.
I had one track, and I was at a party one night. The party was volatile. Then the music came on, we started spitting. Everyone knew my lyric, and I didn't expect it, because I didn't think anyone had the track. We was just spitting lyrics. So that was my first encounter. That's when I'm like 13, 14 years old. And then after that, I've just kind of done bits and bobs. And then just decided there was an avenue. I just thought, if Skepta's doing it, and if this one's doing it, and that one's doing it.
Do you remember where you was? Do you remember where you was when you felt that moment, like of...
We was in the hood, man. People kept saying it was the feedback. Everything in music or creative art is feedback. And the feedback I was getting was like, you're like you man are like the Skeptas and the JMEs of the hood. That's what people kept saying. So when I'm hearing that, I'm thinking, why can't I do it? Because I taught different. And then what happened is I went to jail. And then when I was in jail with London guys. And that's like your first encounter with London, Birmingham, Liverpool. And you just see everybody bleeds like the same colour, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
and goes through the same struggle.
We're all human, man. Do you know what I mean? So the respect in jail is high. But the respect in the music scene was just like, oh, like, we can ignore everyone. But when you're in jail, you can't ignore everyone. So that's where I seen, like, a couple of my good friends was from London. I just thought, there's no difference. Like, we're peoples, you get what I'm saying? And I think when you're from the hood, everyone stays in their hood. You don't even go to another hood in your own area. Do you get what I'm saying? So people are foreign to you. So when you're seeing Skepta on screen, it's foreign.
Yeah.
It's like, he must be a different creature to us. Do you get what I'm saying? But for me, when I was around a lot of Londoners in jail, it was like, you just rate me. They rated me. They respected me. Just because of the way I was conducting myself. So then when I spat lyrics, they rated the lyrics. So I thought, if you man are rating the lyrics and you were London certified, then I'm bringing this shit to outside of, you get me? Then I got out and started to do boxing first. And just tried to just vanish on the boxing journey and that. Yeah. And then just ended up doing music. Yeah. You know?
Do you know what? When you mention like the accent thing, yeah, I was thinking about this the other day as well. It's like, there was an element of maybe arrogance from our side where it was like, you know what? We've got a thing here, innit? This is what we do, yeah? And then when you hear somebody else doing it with a different accent, you don't take it that seriously. No. But you know what was ironic about that, yeah? Prior to that moment, Americans used to think the same way about us when we was rapping. Okay. So like Americans would sit and think, oh, like they wouldn't accept what was happening over here, really, because it was like, who are these? They speak in a different accent. Like, what are they talking about? So it's like, it's weird when you can go from that, and then also we create something and we also think the same about outsiders. But it's good now that everyone's kind of been on it. Like that accent barrier is fully just pushed out of the way now, and You know what I
It's
mean?
human nature.
Yeah.
We're creatures of habit.
Yeah.
So, you know, if you're used to something, then that's just the way it is. So if I'm in a boxing gym, I'm the main guy in that boxing gym. I've won all my fights. I'm the main guy, and then somebody else comes in. He looks different to me. Let's say he's a fat guy. And I've never sparred a fat guy. And to me, I'm just thinking, I'll take you serious. He has to bully my mind into thinking differently. Otherwise, I'm not going to break the habit. There's only a few things that will break human habit. And one of them's fear.
Yeah.
There's not many other ways. You can't politely ask someone to change their habit.
Yeah.
Do you get what I'm saying? Oh, will you stop smoking, please? Or there's a gun to your head, stop smoking, or you might get shot.
It's two different things.
You know, and that's it. Human habits, it's a powerful thing.
So that's kind of, you went into that, like, you went into the music thing quite aggressively in terms of like how you wanted people to, in terms of how you wanted to get in the game. It was like you weren't on a thing of, this is a thing of, oh, you know what, maybe we'll accept this guy. You was kind of on a thing of, there's a door right there, you're aware of this door, and I'm going to do whatever it possibly takes to kick this thing off.
It's coming off, yeah. So the area where I grew up, I grew up in quite a good area. I went to school in quite a good area. Where I was originally born wasn't a good area. So where I went back to when I was allowed out wasn't a good area. And a lot of the olders there was robbers and stuff like that for a living. And it's weird now, in 2019, to say that someone was a robber for a living. It's weird. But that's what I've grown up witnessing. So I could have been a robber in that I was running in somewhere and there would have been victims and people get hurt and all that kind of thing. Or it's like there's a door there to be kicked off and just make people take us seriously, then I'm taking it off. So I just kind of applied the skills what I'd learned in more of a positive way, because there wasn't really many victims in the robbery. So I kind of see it as a robbery, as vulgar as that sounds.
Yeah.
Just because it wasn't going to happen otherwise. It was going to be a drawn out process otherwise.
It's got to be difficult though, like when you see something that's so regular in your ends, yeah, whether it's like violence or whatever it may be, yeah, that's just so regular. But on the other side, with the artist side of things and rapping and being an MC and cutting through like that, that's at that point prior to you wasn't a regular thing. So it's naturally easier to go to what is regular with the violence and all of these type of things, as opposed to, you know, saying, you know what, I want to go through and do the music thing. So I think it kind of speaks to that, right?
I just think like there was a lot of guys in Manchester. There was a scene before me. I wasn't the first in Manchester to
Of course.
But I think what they were was a Manchester scene. And I wasn't that. I was kind of by myself. Kind of the way I still am in music. Because I just didn't come through on like, I'm here to make friends. For me, it was like, I'm here to compete with like the main people, the champs. I want to compete with the champs. And the champs was in London, man.
Yeah.
All the best MCs was in London, man. And there was some good ones in Manchester, but it went to that level. Like London, in my eyes, was international level. And I believed I was building towards international level. So I wanted to compete down there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Had you have come to, like, obviously I know you was in jail with some London man and people from all over the place and that, yeah. Prior to this, did you go to London anyway? Did you go down there and
Not
be
really.
in the mix
Only
of
as a
it?
small fish. Like, we was in like the Notting Hill Carnival.
Yeah.
Just hooded up and just ready. Do you know what I mean? Just like in there, just like
bare man.
And it's just going off everywhere. Do you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
it was just mad. Drinking like scissor, that purple, that man, and Alizé and all that, and just, you know, just taking in the vibes, but only as like Manchester, just small fish just passing through kind of thing.
Yeah, I had a funny one like Carnival like that years ago, bro. I was in Carnival some years back as a young buck with a couple of my brethren drinking Kestrel, bro. Like some mad beer, bro. I'll tell you what, yeah. Bro, you don't even want to drink that.
Is it?
Yeah. It's just took me to a different place. But Carnival's a place where musically you can go and fully be inspired as well, though, because you see the sound systems, you see the sound systems, you see the floats and stuff like that. But even with the sound systems, you see like garage, grime, D&B, all of that, and you see the MCs and that there, the DJs cutting through, doing a thing. It's Carnival in that sense is quite inspiring as well, right?
Yeah. I seen it from two angles. I seen it from when I was young and we was in a gang and all that. Life was just cramped. So I seen it from tunnel vision. Like we're this gang, around all these gangs, and we was like making friends and that. Then I come back up years later with CDs. I had about 4,000 CDs, and I handed them out in Notting Hill Carnival.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did that as well, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, as a DJ. That's mad.
Yeah,
Wait,
yeah.
yeah, let's talk about that. So wait, did you buy a CD duplicator?
Yeah, I done that.
Yeah?
Yeah. In the lead up, and then I had to go to a company because to get 4,000
It's
is a
long.
lot.
Okay.
So we had a suitcase, bro, and we just getting about with this suitcase. We're approaching man, and man are like, what, bro? I'm just like, trying to give you a CD. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was the flex that I was on. I must have got about 2 messages on Twitter. Thanks for the CD. Out of 4,000 CDs.
Man.
But that's what I'm saying about progress, man. It's irreversible. Everything that you put in comes out.
Yeah.
And that's the way the universe works.
It's like all of those little things there lead to something
Yeah, they
because, like, that was the thing that I was doing, bro. I was fully on that. Like, the CD hustle, I think that's like a thing that a lot of people don't, a new generation of people won't necessarily understand now because it's different now.
Yeah.
But like giving out CDs was a real thing at a point. Investing your money in just making CDs and like buying CD duplicators or going to a CD company and just getting them and spending that money, but then just giving them out for free, hoping that, you know what, either somebody hears it or you can create a vibe or a buzz.
Feedback, I think, is the main thing.
Yeah.
You're paying for feedback. Feedback's your main thing in anything that you do. If you can get the right amount of feedback, then you can get good. Once you're good, you'll get paid to do it. Do you know what I'm saying? So the first thing you don't need money, you just need feedback. How am I sounding? How do I get better? So that was the first bit for me. Just tweaking them little bits. Do you know what I mean? Even though I thought I can compete with the Londoners, there were still bits I needed to change. You get what I'm saying?
Like
so,
what?
I don't know, you might just be telling a story in a trap but it's dragging. It's like short and that. It's like, but that's a sick story. But why does no one give me feedback on it? All right, next time when I tell a story, I'll make it more short and sweet, easier to digest. But then when you do it again, people are like, yo, that was sick. It's like, that's because I shortened it. And it takes just a long time to get a style that you know you can fire it at someone and it lands, bang. Whereas at first you're shooting and missing, like a wild cowboy. You get me? So feedback, I think, is an important thing when you're up and coming in anything.
What was the next steps after that? Like going out doing the CD hustle and stuff? Because
Yeah,
now it sounds like at this point you're kind of really on trying to create a buzz and make something for yourself now.
Look,
So after doing the CD stuff, what was going on? What was happening in your life then, musically, and like, you know, just in general, personally, I guess.
Yeah, there was just a long stage in my life where I was just trying to transition over from being stuck in what's going on. You know what the roads are like? There's always a different saga. Of like, oh, them man are shooting them man and this, that. And I was just trying to like stay out of an episode. Trying to stay out of the episodes, do you know what I mean? And just transition over into being a music guy. Which in my head is only the past couple of years do I feel like, right, I'm a professional. Do you know what I mean? Like I'm legal. Do you get what I'm saying? But you can just end up gelled in a mindset. So I was just transitioning for years, just trying to stay out of stuff, just learning to not go out on the Saturday night to the certain places and whatever and whatever. I didn't feel like I belonged anywhere else in life. Didn't feel like I could go to a pub or go to, do you know what I mean? I knew that if I come out tonight, I'm going to end up around a certain circle of people. And in that circle of people, we know what it is. Someone's going to get stabbed. Someone's going to get shot. This is just how we live, kind of a thing. So I was just trying to transition and just be around for my opportunity. I just knew my opportunity would come and I just didn't want to be locked up when it came and I didn't want to be shot up, stabbed up when it came. Do you know what I mean? And so I sacrificed. And I think I got that from boxing. Just tried to spend my weekends just taking it easy. So that was that really. I was just building. Then there was a stage where I had to build some money and just be ready. Do you know what I mean? And that was it. Everything was in preparation for the journey. So when the journey took off, I just committed my life, just sacrificed my life because I just thought, what's it all been worth if when it comes, I'm going to just like take it for granted. Like a lot of people coming through now, they'll get a buzz and after track one, they take the buzz for granted.
When did things start to change? Like obviously, we like the fire in the bush. We know about that, but was there a process or a part where things had changed in your ends? How people were looking at you before that? Like, were people looking at you as like, yeah, this guy could be the one still. He could be. Did people believe in that before?
Don't think so. I think Spitfire at JDZ, like 1 or 2 freestyles before the Fire in the Booth, was when road guys was like, oh shit, like we didn't know he was as involved as he is, because I was kind of in the background, bit of a hustler, so I was in the shadows. And then with the Spitfire, I kind of made a statement with the things that I was saying. Do you know what I mean? And I know a lot of, and cause it got a reaction as well. And the things you're saying, you can't be in Manchester and just say certain stuff and not get repercussions. Okay. So then people started to do homework, like, who is my man?
Yeah.
What has he done? Do you get what I'm saying? So we went through that kind of a process. So I think that was the moment where people took it serious.
Yeah.
And then for me, the Fire in the Booth was just like overnight fame.
Massive.
Yeah, just overnight, like, perform.
Did you know, that it was gonna be like that? Like, did you go into that when you got the call up to do it? Did you know after you left that this was gonna be what it ended up being? Was you prepared for that?
Yeah, I knew if I got it right. All I done was watch K Coke's Fire in the Booth, Nines' Fire in the Booth. All the most successful Fire in the Booths, the ones with the best numbers, and I just aimed to outdo them. I watched every element of them and just thought, right, I can bring all of that to the table, realistically. And I just thought, if I can outdo them, then I've got a chance at getting the most viewed Fire in the Booth. And that's what I've got, the most viewed Fire in the Booth ever.
One thing about me, I don't pay too much attention to the numbers. Like, for me, I just need to know, is this person good? Like, what are they about? You know what I mean? Where do they come from? Those are the type of questions I ask, After that, I didn't know much about you prior to that. I'd heard your name, but I didn't know much about you prior to that. I heard it was such a big moment, and it was the traction that you was getting as well as it. Because obviously you was going back and forth with somebody who was like super popular, people respect and all of that stuff, But even then it was kind of like, rah. After that, everything you was doing was just the traction that was going to it was just extra big. It just felt like something different's happening here. Obviously, we could see that you're in something with somebody, but if you look deeper than that, if you look beneath the surface, something is happening now. Was that your preparation meets opportunity kind of attitude to that situation there?
On the way into the Fire in the Booth, in the car on the way in there, I was crying because I knew that, like, if that didn't work, I'm going back to the roads in a big way. Yeah. In a big, big, big way. Do you know what I mean? And life for me had been pretty sad in the whole lead up to everything. So for me to not take full advantage of that opportunity would have been sad. So when I got out the car to go into the building for the Fire in the Booth, you could have shot me 6 times. I'd have still walked into the building and done my Fire in the Booth. Didn't give a fuck. And I think that came across on camera. There was no chatting to Charlie Sloth before I went in. And
really,
friendly, because I couldn't talk. If you see, I was too nervous to speak. I couldn't speak. I'm saying loads of illegal stuff, which just to listen to just sounds like, yeah, this guy's got lyrics and things to say. But to me, I'm causing trouble. I'm saying, right, tell certain people I'll see them when they get out of jail. In my world, he knows exactly who he is. And when he gets out of jail, I'm calling it on BBC One Extra. Do you get what I'm saying? And I was saying a lot in order for people to feel me. Do you get what I'm saying? So, yeah, and I was willing to. And that's why I think you say you could feel the traction. What you felt was an individual willing to die to go where he was going. How
did you feel when you left, though?
I just knew that it was picture perfect. So I just knew, that's done. Yeah. I've not celebrated all the way through my career. I've just kept going. Do you know what I mean? And this is the first time now that I'm actually having a look around and seeing what else is going on in life.
That's good, man.
Yeah.
I think that's important.
It is.
You need to be able to have a look around and see what's going on.
But when you're the first, it's a big responsibility, bro. Yeah. When you're the first, you're the pioneer, it's a big responsibility. I seen it with Skepta. For me, Skepta felt like he was the first of his lyrical ability. That's how it felt to me.
Yeah, Skepta, like, I think, for me, from my personal opinion, like, Skepta always had something. Do you know what I mean? Like, he always had something. It was his clarity. He could bar all day.
It's called eloquence. That's what it is. When you're eloquent like that, it means that you speak in many different languages.
Yeah.
In you know, and in my opinion, he was one of the first to be able to do so. There was Wileys and there was people like that doing stuff and creating something. But for me, he was the first one to kind of have a level of intelligence and a level of eloquence first. And then what happens is you become a pioneer.
Yeah.
That's what I always used to say about Skepta is when you're the first one over the hill. If this was the Roman days or, you know, the like historically in battles, the first one over the hill takes all the arrows, all the shots, the lot. And that's kind of what happened to Skepta. He went directly first into, he tried to go commercial first. He was trying everything first. And when you go first, there's no blueprint to follow. You've got nothing to improve on. You're just taking all the shots, bang, 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 bang. Yeah. That damages you. And from there on, people can follow in the slipstream, which was, in my opinion, what happened with Stormzy. He put his work in and built up and kind of fitted into a similar lane as Skepta. Yeah. And then Skepta kind of co-signed him. Yeah. Stormzy was a bit more, he had a blueprint to improve on.
Yeah, of course.
So he was more palatable for the industry. The industry took him on board. Definitely.
But also, like, what I wanted to say as well about Skepta is that, like, I don't know if you've ever felt this with any other artist or highly skilled person, yeah? But you know you have, like, a few people that have just that thing. It's hard to even put a finger on it, but it's like they walk into the room and you can feel the presence of that person already. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, he definitely always had that. Walking into a studio and it's like you could feel the presence of that guy. Do you know what I mean? I can see that, like, even from, you know, you and being from where you're from and stuff like that, yeah. I spent, like, there was one time in particular, New Year's Eve, you may not remember, you was performing at some place and I was DJing at this place or whatever. But you walked in and I could see that there was, like, some people that were looking at you in a certain way where it was like, yeah, they know that there's an artist in here, but it's a bit different. Like, there's a person who's coming with a big character and aura that maybe you're not even aware that you have.
No, I do know. And that's why I used to try and stay out of the way on the roads, because people with that aura on the streets get killed. Because it's too much. It's a big energy. All the human body is a vessel. Yeah. And our energy is inside it. You know, when you first become famous and you're making crazy money overnight, you're making people's 5-year salary in one night, you have to ask yourself, why am I famous and he's not? So then my understanding of it was, it's my spirit, it's my energy, it's who I am inside, and it's the fact that I can get that energy out of my vessel. I can express how big it is inside. You get what I'm saying? And it's something I've always been able to do. Yeah. And I think that when you've got the ability to do that and you're on the streets, you're just a walking target. And if you can look after yourself, you'll just prolong the process. But eventually, someone's coming to put a bullet in you, because people don't like that. People shy away from big energy. Like you say, ever since I was a kid, a baby, I walk into a room and everyone's looking at me. So that's just something I've had since I was young. So that goes one or two ways. And I think legal business and music, the music industry, and that, for a person like me, is the right place to be. The streets for a person like me is just the quickest way to get yourself into big problems, you know?
Did anyone teach you how to maneuver in the studio? Like, you know, when you went in and done your first album, yeah? Album, mixtape? What would you say? Walk with me. Is album, mixtape? I'm gonna say album.
I've done 4, 5.
Yeah, I've done one every year from 2005. You've done one every year. Yeah,
for 8, 9 years.
Yeah. So, like, going into the studio and making, because that was your first project after the Fire in the Booth anyway, yeah? Like, what was your mindset going into that and creating a project that time around?
I had a project ready when I'd done my Fire in the Booth.
Oh, you had it ready already?
I had a project ready, yeah.
Okay.
And I threw the whole thing away.
Oh, okay.
I was on my Instagram last night just showing little bits of it. I threw it away because I felt like everybody's there. It's not a gradual step anymore. It's the step. that needs to get me through the door. I need to make something. I was giving things away before, so I could put 6 tracks on there that I just thought were okay. This was for sale. I was selling something to a consumer for the first time. So I just felt like it had to be right. So I just cancelled a full mixtape.
Everything.
Yeah, and just made something fresh for them, you know what I mean? With a new energy. It's all energy music. So yeah, that was that.
Every one of your opening tracks, yeah. I don't know if I'm going to jinx it going into your next project, yeah. But every one of your opening tracks always feels like there's like a statement or a different thing that you're just trying to let go of. Is that on purpose? Is that by design?
Yeah, because you're listening to my diary, innit? The whole thing is my diary just decorated in a way that you'd like to purchase it. You get what I'm saying? So there's always a theme. There was a running theme in my life. Do you get what I'm saying? At that time, when I'll always be going through something, and I can't wrap my head around it. And then when I understand it, and when I overstand it, that's when I kind of put it into a title track. So it's my kind of trademark thing to have a title track that makes you understand the concept. That's what you mean. It's always a concept project.
Yeah.
The ones I've done, do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, but I have to overstand what's just gone on in my life before I can put it into words.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it can take 6 tracks to say what you're trying to say.
Of course.
I need to say it in a nutshell in 1 track.
I feel like even with your bodies of work, yeah, I was saying it to the boys outside that, like, from my analysis, right, so you correct me if I'm wrong, yeah? The first album was kind of on a vibe of, I'm here. Yeah, I'm here, and you lot didn't believe I was going to get here, yeah, but I'm here now, and this is what's going to happen. And these are a couple of things that's been happening in my life, but I'm just letting you know, yeah, I've made it now, yeah, and I'm going to be onto something. The second one seemed very personal, because you talked a bit more about, you know, the relationship with your stepdad and your dad and stuff like that. Then the third one seemed like, you know what, this is a bit of a touring album. Like, you've got a lot of songs on there that you could hear more so live than anything. And then you've gone back to with Be Inspired as a very personal body of work as well, yeah. But taking all of that into consideration, I said the first one was kind of on a vibe of, yeah, I'm here now. What? Like, I've made it now. But like, what was the point where you really felt like, rah, like, I'm actually really here? Because it's different when you know what I mean? Like, okay, boom, a couple million on YouTube and stuff like that. At that point as well, when you was getting 1 million in a week, that was a massive thing. The benchmark changes a little bit for somebody like you who is doing that. Because if you've been doing that before, we've kind of got to go on to the next thing. And like, those little things there, or those achievements, like I say, I shouldn't say the little things, but they can make you feel like, yeah, I'm onto something. But there's another part where maybe you step out on a stage, or you go out and you meet somebody, or something happens and you think, rah, like, this is really, really real.
What I've done with music is, for the first 3 years, I just saved money. I didn't spend no money, really. And then I bought my house. Bought my house while I was doing the Be Inspired album, and I renovated the whole place, interior
Cocaine
designed
white
it.
and that, yeah.
Interior
the piano
designed it and all
thing.
that myself,
I
yeah.
hear that.
So I think it was when the house started to come together, which is why I was in the back cave till mad hours last night. For me, it felt like everybody wants something in life, and for me, it was stability. And that house for me was just felt like stability. Like, no one can ever take this off me. This is mine. So I think when the house started to feel done, it was like, oh shit, I'm here. Because other artists, like even like Chipmunk, people like that, they're better at being famous than me. I'm not a famous guy by nature. I just walk in a room, like you're saying, people feel my presence. Some people are good at attracting attention. Like, a look at me kind of a guy. I'm not like that. So for me, I didn't want the fame. I wasn't bothered about that. I just wanted stability. Just wanted to know that I had somewhere to live. That was my place. It sounds stupid, but it's just something that's been with me from a kid. So that was it for me. When that place was secure, and I thought, you know, everything can be done tomorrow. The money can dry up the lot. Like, I can base up here and figure out what I'm gonna do next. So that was that.
You'd probably say that like for a certain period of time you've been living a dream, innit?
It still is, I think.
Okay, so then when does it not become that? Like, and what I mean by that is when you get or reach a certain space, yeah, in your life where you start achieving the things that were unimaginable to you, yeah. When does it not become? When does the dream change? And does the dream change? Because, okay, yeah, you know, financially you're good, yeah. Musically you're doing very well. You know you're not running out of shows and stuff like that. I don't know what your inner circle or and stuff like that is like, yeah. But does after a period of time does the dream change? Do you start looking at like, you know what, I'm here, but like, what's happening? Like, what's going on? Is there a next thing for me? No, I need this or I want that or. What does the dream become? When does it change? Does it change?
Yeah, the dream changes with experience.
Yeah.
You don't know what it's like to buy your favourite car in the world until you've gone and bought your favourite car in the world. No one can give you that experience. You just have to go through it. So I can't tell you like, oh, I remember buying this thing and that's what it's going to be like. You know, you have to experience it first. Once you've experienced it, then you can kind of come to your own conclusion as to whether is what you thought it was going to be. And I think everybody that you see that gets famous and successful thinks that money is going to change everything. Then get money and get an understanding of what money actually is. It's like, right, this doesn't change how happy I feel or don't feel, you know? So I think you get to your goal. So you set a goal from young, you get there. And then it's like, money don't pay for the problems to go away, for the pain to go away, for the family problems to go away. So then you start aiming higher, and it's less materialistic and it's more kind of, it's more within. Do you know what I'm saying? And you know that the material things are just the added bonus. It's just freedom. It's just more time in bed.
Yeah.
That's all money is.
It's more time in bed.
It is. It stays off.
I get that. I get what you mean by that still.
That's all it is. It's freedom tokens, man. So once you've experienced a certain level of money, you then understand that it doesn't matter if you double it, triple it, quadruple it. This feeling's still going to be the same. So then you start to use that freedom that money brings to go back to yourself and who you actually are inside. Yeah. What makes you happy. You get what I'm saying? Because you can find yourself just going left in life. And that's what happened to me massively. Like, I just ended up going down some crazy path. It took me all till now to realise, like, right, actually I'm a nice guy. I'm not really like that. But that's what the circumstances made me become.
What's the highest part, like, the highest and the best feeling that you felt doing this thing now? Like, what's the best? Because you've been through a lot of stuff, man. And like, I could sit here and there's so many different things I wanted to talk to you. We could sit here and talk for hours. You know, because one thing I wanted to find out a little bit about you was just how, you know, how you was affected by, like, growing up without having your father around and then having your father. And you mentioned on Facing Time, like, telling your father that you loved him for the first time and that, telling your dad and that. Like,
you know, remember that moment? Yeah, it was a weekend. I was boxing every day of the week, and I stayed with him for a little bit. And we come back from a club. I wasn't drinking or anything, but he'd taken me to a club, and I was like, "I love you," you know. And he didn't say it back. It's just little things like that.
How did that feel?
Just like, they're just things that, like, you know what? I think it's the same. You know, you see people that do a long time in jail, and they've got a certain pain. I think they've been through similar types of stuff, give or take, but they just can't express themselves. So it's bubbled up on them for years, and then they've done something bad. Luckily, I could express myself through music. So it's just that similar kind of pain. We could go into it till we was blue in the face, but pain's pain at the end of the day. Some people have had worse pain than me. Some people have had less. But pain's pain, and that was that. It just little things like that hurt, and little things like that make you think, I need to be stable. I need stability. If my own family don't love me, then the rest of the people in the world aren't gonna love me. So I need to earn friends. I need to earn people's love. I need to earn. Do you know what I mean? So it just sends you off on a crazy money making tangent.
Are you happy, bro?
Yeah. For the first time, I'd say about 12 months ago, it kicked in. Because I was just doing music. A lot of my old friends was affiliated in some way, shape or form. So it got a bit dangerous. It's like, if people can take me for this watch, people can take me for this chain, they will. So I had to stay a bit ready myself. And then my mum got happy. I put my mum into a better situation. That changed my outlook on life.
That's the things that dreams are really made of, innit? Like being able to just say, "Mum, don't worry, you know, good, we got you. Now. I got you."
And then I think I had like a bit of an anxiety to keep growing. That's what happens. You can end up aiming so high for dough that it's like, I need more. Every time you get more, it's like, but that's not the figure I want. I need more. And then I had to just let go of that. I thought, how much more can you get, man? Just like chill. And I started to chill. And it was like, whoa, I've got all the things that I wanted.
Yeah.
My mum's okay. I've still got the things what count. I've still got my original friends. I've still got, do you know what I'm saying? So I'd say about 12 months ago it kicked in, and then what happens is you're happy. 3 months. And then you have a day full of pressure. The pressure gets too much. Do you get what I'm saying? Then you dip, and then you find your balance again, and then you do 5 months, and then you dip, then you do 6. So that's where I'm at. I'm kind of getting to a stage where I can do like 6, 7, 8 months.
Same thing happens to me, bro. Like that process of like, you have that time where you feel really good in here, and then something kind of just triggers it, changes it a little bit. But like, life is about balance, isn't it? And sometimes those trigger moments can help you make an understanding of certain things as well. Do you get what I'm saying? And make that lasting period of happiness even longer. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Bro, listen, we could, I could sit here and talk to you for a long time,
talk
bro.
Again
but let me tell you something, yeah? Irrespective of of everything, bro, like what you have done, the way that you have kicked down the door and the way that you have sort of like represented for your city and helped like a new generation of people come through and get a shine and change not only their lives but change their friends and families' lives. So I know that that's exactly what you're doing. Somebody like you who, you know, comes through and does exactly what you're doing. It's not just about you. It's about people that are around you and taking people out of their environments and stuff like that. No, I could never be mad at that, bro. I think that is inspiring. And it's just good to see you develop as not only an artist, but as a man as well. Hopefully at some point we get to connect again.
Let's do it, man. 100%, bro.
Blessed.
Thank you.